Hello children, today we will begin with a new chapter, that is breathing and exchange of gases. Breathing and exchange of gases, it is a second chapter in human physiology, which is a very important one. Of course, in the human physiology, every chapter is very important. Now let us go to the content of this chapter. See, content. Here in this chapter you will be reading about the respiratory system in humans in detail and respiratory organs in animals. Just we will read out some animals and the examples, and mechanism of breathing, exchange and transportation of gases, regulation of respiration and respiratory volumes, and then disorders of respiratory system. These are the contents of this topic. One by one, let us deal. Now, breathing. Breathing, it is usually the term which we will use alternate to the respiration. Breathing is actually external respiration. It is actually an external respiration where the oxygen from the atmosphere will get exchanged with the carbon dioxide which is produced by the body cells. By definition, how do you define it? It is the process of exchange of oxygen from the atmosphere with carbon dioxide produced by the body cells. You know that we need oxygen for oxidation of our food in the cell, and that oxygen, when it is consumed by the cells, carbon dioxide is produced, and that carbon dioxide which is produced in the body cell must go out of the body, and continuously we need oxygen for the supply of energy for our own survival. So this exchange of gases between the body and the atmosphere is called breathing. It is commonly known as respiration. By definition, hope you understood. ಏನು ಬ್ರೀದಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಉಸಿರಾಟ. ಏನನ್ನು ಉಸಿರಾಟ ಉಸಿರಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಗಾಳಿಗಿಂದ ದೇಹದ ಒಳಗೆ ತಗೋತೀರಿ, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಫೈನ್. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೇನಂತಾರೆ ಬ್ರೀದಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ವೆಲ್, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Respiration is a catabolic process. The oxygen is utilized for the oxidation of the glucose in the mitochondria to produce energy. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ PU ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಏನದ ಕೆಟಬಾಲಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಅದ. ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಕೆಟಬಾಲಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್. Catabolic process means what is catabolic process. Here it is a breaking down process, or you can say it is a destruction process. Glucose is broken down to produce energy, so that is the catabolic process. So respiration is a catabolic process. Here oxygen is used for the oxidation of glucose in the mitochondria of the cell. Mitochondria, in the mitochondria the oxidation process will take place, and for this we need ATP molecule that during the catabolic process, when the oxygen is oxidized, ATP molecules are produced, and ATP molecules are the energy packets which are used for various functions in the body. Hope it is clear. What you have to remember? Breathing, it is the exchange of gases between the atmosphere and the body. What all gases you will exchange? From the atmosphere oxygen is taken in, and from the body carbon dioxide is given out. And what kind of process it is? It is a catabolic process. Fine. Where the oxidation of food or the glucose will take place, it is in the mitochondria. That's all. Now respiratory organs. First, let us go to the respiratory organs which are present in the animal kingdom. So in lower organisms, the respiration will take place directly through the diffusion. So direct respiration by diffusion from the environment in the lower organisms like protozoa, amoeba, fine, euglena, paramecium. Here I did not type that one, let it be. And sponges, cylinderates, flatworms. In these animals, the exchange of gases will take place directly. ಈ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಏನದಾವಿಲ್ಲ, ಲೋವರ್ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವ, ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಆರ್ಗನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಸೀದಾ ಅದ್ರ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರಿಂದ. ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಆರ್ಗಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಬಾಡಿ. Next we have got cutaneous respiration. Cutaneous respiration means respiration by the skin. Respiration by the skin is called cutaneous respiration, and this will occur in the earthworm. Fine. So respiration by the skin is called cutaneous respiration. The tracheal system. Trachea, a small tubular structures which are found in the insect especially. So here a tubular system you will see. You have studied in structural organization already, which was dealt in the class. So through the trachea, this trachea will open outside on the body surface by a small opening which are called spiracle that you have studied. So through the tracheal system the exchange of gases occurs in the insects. Gills. Gills usually in the aquatic animals. Aquatic animals means not all the animals. Fine. You can say whale will live in the water. Does it respire with the gills? No, it respires with the lungs. And frog also lives in the water. Snake also lives in the water. So the organisms which got completely adapted to the water, other than water they will not live. So such animals have got gills as their respiratory organs. Fine. So aquatic arthropods and mollusca, they will respire with the help of the gills, and lungs in the terrestrial organisms you will see. So respiration through the lungs is called pulmonary respiration, and respiration through the gills is called bronchial respiration. That we will see. So what all things you have studied in this slide? Breathing definition. What is breathing? It is the exchange of oxygen from the atmosphere with the carbon dioxide produced in the body. Where it will take place? It will take place, why it will take place? Sorry, where? No, it will take place of course in the body. That we will read in detail. Where is a wrong question at present. Fine. And here, why oxygen is required for the body? This is the correct question. Fine. Oxygen we require for the oxidation of glucose. What is the use of oxidation of glucose? Because it will release the energy. Where it will take place? In the mitochondria. Fine. And different respiratory organs of the animal kingdom we have studied. Now let me go to the next slide. First we have studied the content, third slide we have to go through. So respiration is of two types. Respiration is of two types, that is aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So aerobic respiration, what do you mean by aerobic respiration? The respiration which will occur in the presence of oxygen. In the presence of oxygen, and the complete oxidation of the food will take place, which releases carbon dioxide and water and large amount of energy. So this is called aerobic respiration. Fine. Aerobic respiration means oxygen is compulsory required. Fine. Oxygen is compulsory required, and this oxygen is used to oxidize the food. When food will get oxidized, it releases carbon dioxide, water and large amount of energy. That is aerobic respiration. The organisms showing aerobic respiration are called aerobes. Fine. Aerobes, the organisms which will show aerobic respiration. It is found in most of the animals and plants. Aerobic respiration is of two types, that is direct and indirect. Direct respiration means here the exchange of the oxygen with the carbon dioxide occurs directly between the organism and the environment or atmosphere, you can say. There is no respiratory organs. there is no respiratory organ, no involvement of blood. That is called the direct respiration. The meaning itself says, the term itself says the meaning. Direct respiration means the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide occurs directly between the organism and the atmosphere. So let me read out just what is there in the content. Direct respiration is the exchange of environmental oxygen with carbon dioxide of the body cells without special respiratory organs and without the help or aid of blood. It is found in aerobic bacteria, protista, certain lower plants, sponges, coelenterata, flatworms, roundworms, and most of the arthropoda. Indirect respiration. It involves, the name says indirect. Indirectly respiration is occurring. Fine. It involves the special respiratory organs such as skin, buccopharyngeal lining, gills, lungs, and needs the help of blood. Respiration in the skin, buccopharyngeal lining, gills, and lungs is respectively called cutaneous, that is respiration through the skin. Buccopharyngeal is called by same name. Gills, it is called bronchial respiration. Respiration through the lungs is called pulmonary respiration. You have to remember. So what all things you have studied in this slide? You have studied that the respiration is classified into two types depending upon whether they need molecular oxygen or not. If they need molecular oxygen, then it is called aerobic. If they don't need, then it is called anaerobic. So here in this slide we have got the description about the aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration means here the respiration require molecular oxygen. Here respiration require molecular oxygen. Fine. And this will take place, this further is classified into two types, direct, indirect. Direct, here no respiratory organs are required. Directly from the atmosphere, the oxygen will enter into the organism's body and carbon dioxide from the organism directly enters into the atmosphere. That is the direct, which usually takes place in the lower organisms. Indirect, here the respiration will take place indirectly with the help of the respiratory organs, and different respiratory organs are mentioned here. That is skin, respiration through the skin. You have to remember these scientific terms. Respiration through the skin is called cutaneous respiration. Respiration through buccopharyngeal region is called buccopharyngeal respiration. Respiration through the gills is called bronchial respiration. And respiration through the lungs is called pulmonary respiration. Fine. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಈ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ನಾಗ ಏನು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ನೆನಪಿಡ್ಬೇಕು ಮಕ್ಕಳ್ರ, ಏರೋಬಿಕ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಆಮ್ಲಜನಕ ಬೇಕು, ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಬೇಕು, ಸರಿನಾ? ಅಂಥದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ನಂತರ ಏರೋಬಿಕ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಏರೋಬಿಕ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ದು ಒಂದೇನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಎನರ್ಜಿ ತುಂಬ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಏನದ ಫುಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸ್ ಆಗಿ ವಾಟರ್, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇದು ಬಾಟ್ನಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಒಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ನಾಗ ಫುಲ್ ಓದ್ತೀರಿ ನೀವು. ಮತ್ತು ಏರೋಬಿಕ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನನ್ನು ಎರಡು ಟೈಪ್ ಆಗಿ ವಿಂಗಡಣೆ ಮಾಡಲಾಗಿದೆ, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್, ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಜೀವಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ನಡು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್, ಸರಿನಾ? ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಏನದ ಬಾಡಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ನಾಗ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಥ್ರೂ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್, ಶ್ವಾಸಕೋಶ, ಶ್ವಾಸಾಂಗ ವ್ಯೂಹ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಹೌದಾ? ಅದ್ರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಬಾಡಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೇನಂತಾರೆ ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಕಾಣಲಾಗ್ಯದಲ್ಲ, ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸಪಿಯರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ವೈಲ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಫೈನ್. ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ನಾಗ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾವೆ, ಅವು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಯಾವುದು ಕ್ಯುಟೇನಿಯಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ಲೆ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಆಗೋದು, ಬಕೋಫ್ಯಾರಿಂಜಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ಲೇನೆ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಆಗೋದು, ಮತ್ತು ಲಂಗ್ಸಿಂದ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪಲ್ಮನರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಗಿಲ್ಸ್ನಿಂದ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಾಂಕಿಯಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು ನೀವು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಸರಿನಾ? ಹೋಪ್ ತಿಳಿತಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಮುಂದಿನ ಸ್ಲೈಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಮುಂದಿನ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ anaerobic respiration we have got. Fine, we have got the description about the anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration, it occurs in the absence of the molecular oxygen, and it is also called fermentation. It is also called fermentation. And this food is partially oxidized, and so only part of energy is released, and some of the energies remain trapped in the intermediate compounds. It is found in lower organisms like bacteria and the yeast. It is also found in certain parasitic worms like Ascaris and Taenia, which live in the oxygen deficient medium. Fine. Anaerobic respiration means it will occur in the absence of the oxygen. Fine. It will occur in the absence of the oxygen. That is why the food will get partially digested. Food will get partially digested, and certain amount of energy is trapped in the intermediate products. And this kind of respiration is also called fermentation. Anaerobic respiration is also called fermentation. Fine. And this you'll see mainly in some bacteria and the yeast, and also certain endoparasites which live in an environment where there is a deficiency of oxygen, like endoparasites of the human body, Taenia solium, tapeworm, Ascaris lumbricoid, roundworm, ಜಂತು ಮತ್ತು tapeworm. Anaerobic respiration ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು? ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಇರಲಾರ್ದೆ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಉಸಿರಾಟ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಇರಲಾರ್ದೆ ಉಸಿರಾಟ ಆಗ್ತದ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಹಾರಾಂಶ ಪೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಪೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಪೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತು ಉಳಿದ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ? ಅದನ್ನು ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಅಂತದ್ರಾಗ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಪ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಇದು ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ ಲೋವರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಮತ್ತು ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಕಂಡು ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಎಂಡೋಪ್ಯಾರಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾವು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಕೊರತೆ ಇರೋ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಾಗ ಜೀವಂತ ಇರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, ಹ್ಯಾಂಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರಳು ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಒಳಗೆ ಜಂತು ಮತ್ತು ಟೇಪ್ವಾರ್ಮ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, ಅವನು anaerobic respiration ಮಾಡ್ತಾವೆ. So this is about the anaerobic respiration. When you compare the aerobic respiration with the anaerobic respiration, which respiration is very efficient, which releases large amount of energy? It is the aerobic respiration. Fine. So we are aerobes, we need compulsory oxygen, and we are not anaerobes. Fine. That is why we will gain, our body will give us large amount of energy which we are using for various function. Fine. So that is about the aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So the top line is somehow disappearing, children. In the top line you can see only the anaerobic respiration occurs in the absence of. Fine. If I take this down, my slide may get disturbed. Let me try. Okay, not possible. Let it be next time. I will try to arrange this in a proper way. What is the top line? Anaerobic respiration occurs in the absence of. Hope it is clear. So let me try to pull it down if possible. Let it be, otherwise you can just make it out, that word you can make it out. In the next slide we will be going through the types of respiration and the respiratory organs in animals. So this for MCQ you have to remember. So here we have got a list of different organisms and the respiratory organs we have got. Let me just, you can note from here also, you can see. So you can see the protista and the bacteria. Here direct respiration is there through the plasma membrane, so no respiratory organs. Then porifera also plasma membrane of each cell, direct respiration. Coelenterata general body surface. Compared to this, Coelenterata is covered by ectoderm. which you have studied in animal kingdom. So general body surface will help in the exchange of gases. Platyhelminthes, it is anaerobe. It is anaerobe, and here the body surface will help in the exchange of the gases, and here also you will see direct exchange, direct respiration. Nematodes, Aschelminthes, here also direct respiration is there. Body cells will exchange directly with the atmosphere. Annelida, skin, cutaneous respiration you have seen. Nereis, it is the parapodia. Parapodia, a protuberance like structure which will come out from the body, which will help in locomotion, respiration, like that you have studied. Insects, tracheal system. Centipede, millipede, all these are insects only. They also will respire with the trachea. Spiders, scorpion, ticks, mites. Book lungs are the respiratory organs. And marine king crab, also book gills, fine. And prawn, unio, pila, they have got the respiratory organs, cells, not cells. So here you will see a respiratory organ which is called tinea, fine. Let me just confirm this one. Okay, in the unio the mantle will help, fine. The respiratory organ, let me confirm, just I got confused here, something is there. I mean, in my mind this is not the structure which is respiratory organ in the pila. Ctenidia it is, the respiratory organ in the mollusca is ctenidia, fine. But here okay, let it be, in your mind you keep ctenidia. Next period, just I will confirm from the book and say Echinodermata, it is dermal branchia, 2 feet, respiratory tree, and bursa, anal bursa. It is a tree-like structure. And fishes, gills it is. Okay, prawn, unio, and pila, it is gills. Sorry. Here the spelling is not clear. Gills, which are also called ctenidia in the mollusca. Fine, children, I'm sorry. So it is gill. Fine. So in the fishes it is gills, and in the frogs it is to my question which you have studied, buccopharyngeal lining, or you have studied buccal cavity, lungs, and the skin, cutaneous respiration, pulmonary respiration, and buccopharyngeal respiration is seen in the frog, which you have studied in structural organization. And in the tadpole of the frog it is the gill, fine. And next we have got the mammals. In the birds you will see the lungs, and in the mollusca you will see mantle will help in certain mollusca. Unio and pila are also mollusca, but their gills are the respiratory organs. And in mollusca, when you take general, you can remember the mantle and gills together I made you to write in the classroom, but this table I have taken from the net, so here it is given differently. Let it be, but you remember in the mollusca it is the gills, and mantle surface also will help. Hope you remember what is mantle. It is a smooth skin cover which is present between the shell and the viscera body. So that you have to remember. Okay. In the marine turtle it is cloacal respiration is there, it seems, fine. So this I have taken directly from the net. The down, it is not visible for you people. Let me just push the slide little up. Not visible. Not clear it is. Let it be. Till now what I told, that only you remember. So here you can see the mollusca, it is the mantle, fine. And marine turtle, it is cloacal respiratory tree it is. Now let me make it as previously only the last line will go. Let it be. Okay. Now next, respiratory system in humans. Let me today just give you the introduction about the respiratory system in humans. See, some of the structures you have to remember which you have studied in the animal kingdom. In the animal kingdom you have studied the with the side headings you have studied. Fine. There we wrote one system, respiratory system, absent, wanting, like that we wrote. And there we wrote the respiratory organs. You have to remember them. All the respiratory organs already you know, but here as it was a table directly was there in the net, so I have taken that. So you have to remember the respiratory organs what we have studied in different classes, different phylum. Now respiratory system in human beings. Let me just give you the introduction about the respiratory system in humans. You know, the humans respire with the help of the lungs. So pulmonary respiration is seen in the human beings. What do you mean by pulmonary respiration? Respiration through the lungs. So our respiratory organs, where are they present? They are present in the thoracic chamber, thoracic cavity. In the thoracic cavity, the respiratory organs are present, and our respiratory system, it is derived from the endoderm of a germ layer. You have studied 3 germ layers, ectoderm, endoderm and the mesoderm, and the different derivatives of these 3 germ layers also you will study in second year, but then also here and there you will be coming to know. So respiratory system, it is derived, or you can say it is originated from the endoderm. Fine. The respiratory system, it is mainly composed of 2 zones, or you can say 2 portions, that is conducting portion and the respiratory portion. The conducting portion, the name itself says that it will just help in the conduction of the air, and respiratory zone or respiratory portion, the name itself says that it will help in the respiration or the exchange of gases. Fine. That is the respiratory zone. So the conducting portion provides passageway for air and functions to condition the incoming air by warming, moistening and cleaning it. It consists of nasopharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchiole and terminal bronchioles. This you will understand when I show you the figure. Just at present you keep these terms in your mind. In coming slide it will be clear. The respiratory portion consists of bronchiole, alveolar duct. Alveolar sacs are nothing but alveoli. They serve to get rid of the body of carbon dioxide and picks up oxygen. So simply I told you alveoli and the alveolar duct. A pair of external nostrils lead to the nasal chamber through the nasal passage. The nasal chambers opens into nasopharynx, which is a portion of pharynx, which is a common passage for food and air. So let me just disappear for a while. So in this slide you have that description. So description you will understand when you see the diagram. Without that it will become very difficult. Fine. Now let me go to the diagram which is there here. The next slide. So here in this slide I have taken only the position of the lungs. So this upper chamber of the body, is called thoracic chamber or thoracic cavity up to here. Fine. And lungs are present in the thoracic chamber. How many lungs we have got? 1. Here 2 lungs are there. I mean 2 lung structure are there, right and the left. So whenever you will see the image of a person in front of you, you have to imagine as if you are standing facing yourself. So then the opposite of our right side will be the right side, opposite of our left side will be the left. That you have to remember. So here right lung and this is the left lung. Right lung is having 3 lobes. right lung is having 3 lobes and the left lung is having 2 lobes. This you have to remember. Fine. The upper one is called superior lobe, the middle lobe and the inferior lobe. Fine. The 3 lobes of right lung are called superior lobe, middle lobe and the inferior lobe. And left lung is having only 2 lobes, that is superior lobe and inferior lobe, no middle lobe. And here you will see the tracheal tree. So what is this? It is called tracheal tree. Fine. And here you can see that the nostrils are there. From the nostril, the gas will enter into the nasal chamber. ಆ ಮೂಗಿನ ಸೊಳ್ಳೆಯಿಂದ ಹೋಗಿ ಆ ಮೂಗಿನೊಳಗಿನ ಜಾಗ ಇರ್ತದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೇಸಲ್ ಚೇಂಬರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ನೇಸಲ್ ಚೇಂಬರ್ the air will enter into the nasopharynx. Fine. Nasopharynx, then it will enter into the oropharynx, then pharyngeal region. Then you will see the larynx. Larynx is nothing but sound box. This portion is the larynx. So from the larynx, gas will enter into the trachea. In the larynx, the opening of the larynx, it is guarded by sorry, I went somewhere. 1 minute. Air from the nasal chamber will enter into the pharynx, then into the larynx. Fine. And I told you pharynx, it is a common passage for air and food. Then it will enter into the larynx. So larynx, it is a sound box which has got 2 cords. The movement of the air will help in making the sound. Fine. And larynx leads to trachea. This trachea will bifurcate and enters into the lungs, and this is called the primary bronchi. Fine. The trachea, when it will bifurcate, the trachea, sorry children, a little disturbance was there. So this larynx will continue in trachea. It will get bifurcate and it will form the primary bronchi. Then again the branchings are called by names like secondary bronchi, and then you have got the tertiary bronchi. Only up to tertiary bronchi you have to remember. This incoming slide we have got a clear picture from the NCERT. So this much you have to remember. Fine. Hope I did not confuse you people. Okay. It is the, here I have shown the position of the respiratory system. ನಮ್ದೇನದ ಪಲ್ಮನರಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಒಳಗೆ 2 ಲಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾವ? ಥೊರಾಸಿಕ್ ಚೇಂಬರ್ನಾಗ ಇರ್ತಾವ. ರೈಟ್ ಲಂಗ್ನಾಗ 3 ಲೋಬ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವ, ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಲಂಗ್ನಾಗ 2 ಲೋಬ್ ಅದಾವ. ಆ ಲೋಬ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ದ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗಾಟ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಸುಪೀರಿಯರ್ ಲೋಬ್, ಮಿಡಲ್ ಲೋಬ್, ಇನ್ಫೀರಿಯರ್ ಲೋಬ್. ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ನಾಗ ಬರೀ ಸುಪೀರಿಯರ್ ಲೋಬ್, ಇನ್ಫೀರಿಯರ್ ಲೋಬ್ ಅದ. ಸರಿನಾ? ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕಿಯಲ್ ಟ್ರೀ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕಿಯ ಬಂದು ಗಿಡದಂಗೆ ಕವಲು ಹೊಡಿರ್ತದೆ. ಗಿಡ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕವಲು ಹೊಡಿತದಿಲ್ಲ ಹಂಗೆ ಕವಲು ಹೊಡೆದಿರ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕಿಯಲ್ ಟ್ರೀ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೆಂಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕವಲಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಬ್ರೋಂಕಾಯ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡು ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಬ್ರೋಂಕಾಯ್, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಟೆರ್ಷರಿ ಬ್ರೋಂಕಾಯ್, and then respiratory tract or alveolar duct you will see, then alveolar. ಮುಂದಿನ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ನಾಗ ಇದು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಹೊರಗಿಂದ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾಸ್ಟ್ರಿಲಿಂದ ಗಾಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಟ್ರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? ನೇಸಲ್ ಚೇಂಬರ್, ನಮ್ಮ ನೇಸಲ್ ಚೇಂಬರ್ನಾಗ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೆಸೋಫ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಫ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ರೀಜನ್ನೇ 3 ಭಾಗಗಳು ಗುರುತಿಸ್ತೀವಿ: ನ್ಯಾಸೋಫ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ಓರೋಫ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫ್ಯಾರಿಂಜಿಯೋಫ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಲಿರಿಂಜಿಯೋಫ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಸಾರಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಲ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಓಪನಿಂಗಿಗೆ ಗ್ಲಾಟಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಗ್ಲಾಟಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ? ಎಪಿಗ್ಲಾಟಿಸ್. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಹೇಳೋ ಟೈಮಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಎಪಿಗ್ಲಾಟಿಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಕಾರ್ಟಿಲೇಜಿನಸ್ flap which closes the glottis. So it will allow only air to pass through. Fine. ಇದು ಲ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಲ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್. ಲ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಲ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಫೈನ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಬರ್ತದೆ? ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕಿಯಾ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕಿಯಾ ಕವ್ಲೊಡ್ದು ಬೈಫರ್ಕೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ 2 ಲಂಗ್ಸ್ನಾಗ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಹೋಪ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೇನಂತಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಪ್ಪೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಡಯಾಫ್ರಾಮ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್ and you can see that the lungs are safely placed in the rib cage. That image we have got next. Hope I did not confuse in this slide because little disturbance was there. I hope I am clear, children. Now let me go to the diagram of a lung. Well, this is the diagram from the NCERT. You can see here, from the nostril air will enter into the nasal chamber, and here it is a very simple diagram. Then it will enter into the pharynx. See, nostrils, it will enter into the nasal chamber, then in the pharynx, from the pharynx into the larynx, which is a sound box, then into the trachea. The trachea will get bifurcated, it will enter into the lungs. Trachea and bronchi, they are protected by half moon shaped cartilaginous rings. And then you will see the primary bronchi, secondary, tertiary bronchi. So here all those labelings are not there, and for you people no need to label. When the respiratory system is asked in the exam, you have to draw this diagram. Fine, this diagram you have to practice. Directly you show the branching of the bronchi, and then you will show the alveoli. So these small balloon-like structures, bulb-like structure, what are they? They are alveoli, and the small duct which are seen along with that are the alveolar duct. And this you can label if you want as tertiary bronchi. This one is secondary bronchi, and this one is primary bronchi. This is the bronchi. Fine. And you have to show the cartilaginous rings. So why cartilaginous rings are present on this? Because at the back of this you will see esophagus. Here you will see esophagus. When you will be swallowing the food, it will exert pressure on the trachea. The trachea should not collapse due to the pressure. That is why these cartilaginous rings are present. Fine. And here you will see the cut ends of the ribs. The cover of the lungs is called pleura. Lung is covered by a thin membranous structure which is called pleura. There are 2 protective covers, inner and the outer pleura. So this pleura, it is filled, it is in between these two you will see the pleural cavity which is filled with the pleural fluid. It will avoid friction between the membranes. Fine. And whenever the lungs will expand, when the thoracic chamber will expand, so this, the presence of pleural fluid will avoid the friction. It will help in expanding and contraction, you can say. So that is about the lungs. Hope it is clear. See, this diagram you have to practice for 3 marks. ಏನೇನು ಹೇಳ್ದ, ಇದು ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆದ. ಇದೇ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಏರ್ ಮೂಗ್ಲಿಂದ ಒಳಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನೇಸಲ್ ಚೇಂಬರ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಇದು ಫ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಫ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಪ್ಯಾಸೇಜ್ ಅದ ಊಟ ಮತ್ತು ಗಾಳಿ ಸಲುವಾಗಿಂದ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಲ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕಿಯಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕವಲೊಡ್ದು ಬ್ರೋಂಕಾಯ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಬ್ರೋಂಕಾಯ್ ಲಂಗ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಬಂದು ಫುಲ್ ಕವಲೊಡಿತದೆ. ಅವು ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಬ್ರೋಂಕಾಯ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಬ್ರೋಂಕಾಯ್, ಟರ್ಷರಿ ಬ್ರೋಂಕಾಯ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಫೈನ್. ಆ ಟರ್ಷರಿ ಬ್ರೋಂಕಾಯ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕವಲೊಡ್ದು ಅಲ್ವಿಯೋಲಾರ್ ಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅಲ್ವಿಯೋಲಾಯ್ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. ಫೈನ್. ಇದು ಜಾಗ ಏನಾದಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ನಡುವಿಂದು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಿಡಿಯಾಸ್ಟಿನಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಫೈನ್. ಮತ್ತು ಇದ್ರ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಏನಾದಲ್ಲ ಒಪ್ಪೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಡಯಾಫ್ರಾಮ್. ಫೈನ್. ಹೋಪ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಈಸ್ clear, children. Today we have seen the respiratory organs in the different animals. The slide was not clear, but we have discussed in the classroom. So you can remember some important organisms and the respiratory organs. Fine. So which you have studied in the classroom, and you have studied the types of respiration: aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Fine. And aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration you have studied. In the aerobic respiration, direct, indirect you have studied, and anaerobic respiration also definition you have studied. Compared to aerobic, aerobic is the best because it releases large amount of energy. Then you have studied the human respiratory system. Human respiratory system is a lung which is located in the thoracic chamber. Right side is having 3 lobes, left side is having 2 lobes. So this is the position of the lungs, and then you have studied the structure of the lung. So in this structure you have to learn for 3 marks. You have to know that here I have shown only the passage. Today I told only the conducting zone. This respiratory system, it is divided into 2 zones, conducting and the respiratory zone. So today we have discussed only conducting zone. What is the function of the conducting zone? It will just help in the conduction of the air. Fine. It will just help in passing air to the important organs. Like here the air will enter into the nostril, nasal chamber, pharynx, larynx, then trachea. Fine. Bronchi, then bronchial tree. Up to the respiratory duct, it is the conducting zone. Fine. Here the exchange of gases will not take place, just the gas will move to the further part. That is about the conducting zone. So tomorrow we will read, in the next class we will be reading the further. Okay. Bye children. Hope today's topic you have understood.